I could have walked through another film set. Good morning from Carmarthen, and the sun is shining, and it needs to be, because I'm off to the seaside. I'm off to the town of Tenby, and in this video we'll find a haunted church and a castle. But the question is, am I going by train as I had planned, or is there a bus replacement service? We'll find out as I go down to the railway station to catch my bus or train to Tenby. In Tenby, and the sun is shining, and the predicted temperature today is 16 degrees and no rain, so hopefully the weather forecast is right. Nothing worse than being at the seaside when it's raining. And so many of my friends have visited Tenby, and they said to me, Alice, you must visit Tenby, there's lots of history here and some old town walls. And it's the old town walls which I just love to see. So that's why I'm here in Tenby. So let's go down and find the walls and explore some of the history of Tenby. It's only a short walk down from the railway station here into the town, and the lovely walls. And just opposite is the War Memorial, placed in those gardens. Really rather nice. Unveiled on the 24th of September 1921. What a great location for a war memorial, opposite the old town walls. These walls really are quite something. They've survived really well given the history of South Wales. They were built in the 13th century by the Earls of Pembroke, improved in the 1450s and again in 1588. You can look up at the tower and see the arrow slits where the archers would have fired out against any enemy. And this particular tower is called the Five Arches because underneath are 5 arches. You can look up and you can see the portcullis, where the portcullis would have been, or some sort of gate. Very nice groove there. And there's a little blue plaque as well. Really rather nice. So just walk through the arch and into the middle of it. Really rather nice. Down into the old street which entered the old medieval town of Tenby. Look up and see the archway again on this side, site of the West Gate, 13th century. Really is absolutely magnificent. I do like seeing entrance gates to walled cities and walled towns. But let's head into the town centre and see what else we can discover on the way up to the castle. I've had so much fun just walking through the back streets of Tenby. There are so many lovely little back streets, quaint architecture, and old buildings. And this is Upper Frog Street. How they got the name Upper Frog Street, I will never know. But what a brilliant name for a street. If you happen to know the origins of the name, leave a comment in the comment section below. But on the right hand side here is the Coach and Horses, the oldest pub here in Tenby. And according to the story, the poet Dylan Thomas got drunk one evening and left his only manuscript, a copy of Under Milk Wood, in the bar. Fortunately, it was returned to him and it was published. And it's a great play, great read. I saw it performed once with Windsor Davis and Don Estelle doing Under Milk Wood. Absolutely brilliant. And this is this fine wall mural which actually depicts Dylan Thomas. There's some writing. In 1953, Thomas visited this pub. He became so drunk that he left his manuscript of Under Milk Wood on a stall. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely brilliant to see a wall mural on the side of a pub. This is really nice actually. There's some old stone walls down here and yards. Really is very pleasant indeed. And there's a ghost sign as well. T.P. Hughes, millinery and costumes. Always nice to see a ghost sign when I explore a town or a city. And there's a blue plaque on this building. Admiral Lord Nelson with Sir William and Lady Hamilton in 1802 attended a performance in its fit-up theatre. Oh, how brilliant! Location for Admiral Nelson and Nelson's Walk. So let's walk down Nelson's Walk and walk in the footsteps of Horatio Nelson. Lovely little passageway. Looks as though I've walked onto a film set. Just imagine Admiral Nelson, Lady Hamilton walking through here. This is really rather interesting. How brilliant. Nelson's Walk. Walking the footsteps of the great man. He died in 1805 at the Battle of Trafalgar. Absolutely brilliant. But let's walk on further into town and find a haunted church. Tenby's one of those towns that just ticks all the boxes for me. Interesting streets, interesting architecture, history, and it's a vibrant seaside town. So many people are out today, enjoying the nice weather, eating ice creams and local fudge. I'm going to do the same later. But I've come down to the churchyard at St Mary's Church. This is the Garden of Remembrance. And St Mary's Church is established back in Norman times. However, the current building was started in the 13th century. Unfortunately, it's closed, so yes, I found somewhere else that's closed. Yeah, so I can't go in and take a look because there's a plaque in the church I wanted to see. And it's to a man called Robert Record. And he was physician to King Edward VII. Physician to King Edward VI, I should say, and a mathematician. And he's accredited with inventing the equal sign in mathematics. He also reintroduced the plus and the minus signs back in 1557. Something as simple as an equal sign. Yeah, that's clever. He even taught maths at Oxford University. Clever chap. But later in life he was sued for defamation, arrested for debt, and in June of 1558 he resided at the Bench Prison in Southwark. Robert died at the Bench Prison just a few weeks later. It's quite remarkable that someone should be accredited with inventing an equal sign. I would have just thought that it would have just come naturally through adding multiplication to show an answer. But there we go. What's interesting, this church is quite interesting because it's also said to be haunted by a priest who lived here in the 16th century. Whether it's true or not, I just don't know, but according to town guides, it's a haunted church. Mind you, I think quite a few churches are probably haunted, given their history and the number of people who've been buried inside the church and in the cemetery outside. There are some grey clouds in the sky, but it's still sunny here and it's still lovely and warm. So I'm going to take a little walk through the town and head down towards the castle. As I left the church, I had a walk around the cemetery, and I found a door that was open. So the church was open after all, and I did go inside and have a look. I'm glad I did. Really beautiful church inside. But I've walked down towards Tenby House. It's a cafe, bar and restaurant, and there's a blue plaque. Tenby House, built in 1821 by Sir William Paxton, on the site of the Globe Inn. John Wesley preached from the Old Market Cross nearby in 1763 and in 1784. Always nice to see a location for John Wesley. But Sir William Paxton was an interesting man because he was a Scottish-born sailor and businessman. He was also MP for Carmarthenshire. And he was instrumental in developing Tenby into the seaside resort that it is today. He died in London, aged 80, in 1824. And across the road, there's no cars coming, a couple of old pubs. One of them is the Plantagenat, and some old steps as well. So let's go down these old steps. This is beautiful here. Lovely old pub. Absolutely lovely. Go down these steps. Oh gosh. There's a house in front of me, Bridge Street, and a blue plaque as well. Charles Norris, 1779 to 1858. Artist, author of Etchings of Tenby, 1812. Lived here from 1805 to 1821. What a lovely little house on these old steps. You can just imagine what Tenby might have been like a few hundred years ago, with all the sailors going up into the town, the old back streets and the pubs. Must have been a lovely place, especially with the Tudor merchant's house behind me. Lovely ornate stonework. Absolutely beautiful. It could have been a film set. I could have walked through another film set. And I'm sure they have made films here. Or certainly used the layout and architecture to design film sets. But down here is the castle. So let's wander down and find the castle. My friends were right. Tenby is absolutely beautiful. And the weather forecast, well, that was right as well. I didn't quite get the wind right because up here on Castle Hill it's quite windy compared to the town centre. But it's lovely up here, it really is. You can see the cannons overlooking the bay and the huge statue of Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, who died in 1861. The memorial was unveiled in 1865. And you can see the bandstand as well. That was erected in 1897 to mark Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, Britain's longest reigning monarch, until her record was surpassed by the late Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The bandstand was taken down during the Second World War. The metal was needed for the war effort, and it's rebuilt in 1991. And on the island, that's St Catherine's Fort. That was constructed between 1867 and 1870. I've had the most lovely day walking through Tenby. It's full of surprises, quaint back streets, quaint architecture, and just so much to see and do here. And I'm so grateful to my friends who recommended coming here. I changed all my plans on my trip to South Wales. I was going to go to St David's today, but I've come here instead, and I'm so pleased that I did. Tomorrow I'm off to Aberystwyth on the bus. That should be fun. It's going to take a week to get there on the bus, I'm sure it will. But that's tomorrow's jolly jaunt up to Aberystwyth, and the final point, the final destination on my trip here around South Wales. So I'm head to the far west of Wales to Aberystwyth. So I'm going to leave you with some views overlooking Tenby. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow my journey, because there's plenty more to come. See you tomorrow.